Hey there, Kevin from Cutting Edge Craftsman. Today we're going to be doing a Glowforge project here. What I'm going to be doing is I went in the woods. I actually watched a video, somebody else's video, and so I went in the woods and cut down a piece of a tree here. And what we're going to do is we're going to try and make coasters out of it on the Glowforge. So I'm going to get everything set up. I'm going to cut the slivers out on the bandsaw here. Coasters or something. I don't know what they're going to be, but I'm just going to test to see if I can actually use the Glowforge on it. So we're going to cut out thin pieces on the bandsaw to get them in there, so they're little billets or something like that, or whatever you want to call them. So I'm going to get that set up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got the bandsaw set up. I just cut down that log a little bit further here and kind of squared it up. We're going to use the resaw fence, and we're going to try and make these as thin as possible. Let's see here. That is 0. You know, I've never used the measuring gauge on this bandsaw. Doesn't really seem to make much sense. It starts off as 1, 2, 3, 4, but 0 doesn't work. Okay, anyway, we'll just have to eyeball it. I want them about 1/4 of an inch. We're going to try that first. So let's give that a shot. Okay, so that came out all right. That's kind of what I'm looking for here. See, the thing is, and this is the first time I'm doing this, so I don't know if it's going to work. This was a super alive tree. Like, it was not falling or anything. I cut it down with the chainsaw. So it might be too wet. It might need to dry out. It feels pretty wet, but I'm going to cut a bunch of them up and then stick them in the furnace room because it seems to be warm in there. That's where I dry out most of my lumber. So we're still going to try it today and see what we come up with. But being as though they're so thin, they'll probably dry out pretty fast, but that's what I'm looking for here. I'm also gonna, my buddy has a tree cutting service, so I'm gonna actually make him, I'm gonna put his logo and stuff on one of these so he can just have it laying around, you know, when somebody comes and sees him or whatever. Just a cool little thing. Okay, I'm gonna continue on here. That one's too thin. Okay, so I have my stack here. They seem to come out pretty good. That's the thickness I was looking for. They're not exactly all uniform, but I kind of want them like that. I want them like to have a rustic look. So again, this is kind of just a proof of concept to see if I can actually do this. I did watch another YouTube video on another YouTuber. His name eludes me right now, but he was doing little keychains with them, with live logs, and I thought that was a pretty cool idea, so I figured I'd give it a try here. So I'm going to investigate these a little bit more, and then we're going to get set up on the Glowforge. I keep wanting to call it Light Forge. I have no idea what that means. I think that's something from Star Wars. I'm not sure. No, it's not from Star Wars. It's where they make lightsabers in the Light Forge. No, they don't. They definitely don't. Okay, so anyway, we're going to carry on here. I'm going to inspect these a little bit and see what I think of them. I may hit them on the sander. Actually, you know what? I'm going to hit a couple on the sander right now. Yeah, we're going to take you over here to the sander. There we go. Let's move the drill here. Okay, so let's fire up. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Probably couldn't hear me. Okay, so I'm happy with that. They still seem a little bit wet, but we're gonna set them up in the Glowforge and see what happens. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so we got the Glowforge set up here. As you can see, I put the little trivet in there, or blank. We're gonna call it a blank. We're gonna call it a wood blank. That's what we're gonna do. So we got that set up. You know what? I didn't make any kind of design. Okay, so now I have a design made, and we're gonna go ahead and see what happens. I had to put custom settings in, so I don't know what's gonna happen here. So hopefully it doesn't catch on fire. All right, let's go ahead and continue. Okay, preparing my print. Put most of it on a lower setting. Always start off, if you're not sure, always start off with a lower setting than what you think. However, this is my first try, so I only put it to 20% power, so we'll see what happens. For those of you who don't know, you can adjust the intensity of the laser by percentage. You could also adjust the speed. So with the Glowforge. Previously, it looked like you couldn't save settings for uncertified material, meaning the material that's not proof grade. But I just saw on here that there is a way to save it now, so they are making progress in the way that their software works, and it's a good thing. Okay, so it looks like we're ready here. So let's see what happens. Probably not enough power. But it also isn't catching on fire, so that's a good thing. Okay, so as I said, this is the first attempt here, and whoops, upside down. It could be darker. I'm gonna try the same thing, only with higher settings. So we're gonna try that next. Okay, so attempt number 2. See what happens. I up the power settings here. Okay, so that one actually did better. I like that better. It engraved a lot deeper than the other one. The first one was pretty light. Most of this was at like 60%. That's the one I just did. And this one was at 20%. The setting was 20 and for the power setting and 100 for the speed setting. So if anybody wants to know, I may try another one with 100, 100, 100 speed, 100 power, and see what we get out of that. Okay, so let me set up for that. All right. Okay, hit the glowing button, and we're gonna go down here. That's gonna start. I just want to make sure that begins. It is beginning. In the meantime, I brought a different size branch with me too. So I brought this one with me too. Anyway, so we're gonna cut out some blanks with this too. That smells really live. I don't know if this one's gonna work. So we have a stack of them that big now. They smell really live. They're kind of wet too. Oh well, we'll see what happens. Okay, so we got a handful of those. We're gonna give those a try too. So looks like that other one that I have on the Glowforge right now, the 100 speed, 100 power, is just about finished. So we're gonna pull that out here in a minute, and then we'll take a look at it. Okay, so yeah, that is the setting to go with this, is 100 power, 100 speed. I think that came out pretty good. So yeah, that's on the Glowforge. That's at 100. These are fresh. I just cut these down, as I said before. And it seems to be working good. They seem to be dry enough. I thought maybe the moisture content within the wood would cause an issue, but so far it hasn't. Now when it dries out more over time, that's when we may get an issue, but for now I'm happy with that. So I'm going to draw up a couple other things, and we have like I said, a whole handful of these, so we're going to try and do a couple different designs and make these into coasters or whatever. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and design that, and I'll be back in a couple minutes. Okay, so we are just finishing up here. I made a couple things and I put a coat of shellac on this. I don't know if you can catch the, yeah, you can kind of catch the light shining off of it there a little bit, but that came out pretty good. Oops, forgot to shut my ringtone off. That's just my theme song. So I made a couple other things too. These right here, zoom, there we go, focus. Made a couple of these right here. They come out pretty cool. A couple of the bands that I like. Okay, so switch back over. Okay, so that's going to do it for today. Just a quick little build. Just messing with the Glowforge and seeing what I can do. This is Kevin from Cutting Edge Craftsman. Like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments. Alrighty. Have a nice day. Okay, update. This is a couple days later. This is from that build that we just did. And we, as I mentioned, as the wood dries out, the moisture content decreased and it dried out, and we did have some problems. Here's what happened. So this is that one that I just showed you, and as you can see, there's that phone again. Anyway, I always forget to shut my ringtone off. As you can see, it cracked significantly, and almost all the other ones did the exact same thing. They all cracked. So, as this was an informative video to the effect of, can you take wood that you just cut down and engrave it with the Glowforge? That is plausible. Yes, you can do that. However, apparently I need to work on some sort of method of drying this wood out before putting it in the Glowforge, because now it looks like Pac-Man. Yeah, Pac-Man. So, just a little note, I figured I'd add that in there in case you were interested to see how it came out after a couple days later. And that's how it is. Okay, once again, this is Kevin from Cutting Edge Craftsman. Like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.